Nick lives in a ProMaster and he built it out himself. Do you have, this is what year, ProMaster?
So 2017.
Nice.
Yeah.
And did you get any special things on it, or?
No, I pretty much went for the most basic shell they had, so it doesn't have any real bells and whistles. I just wanted something that had relatively low mileage so I could feel comfortable with it. Still under warranty a little bit.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at the inside. I'm super stoked at how you did it all yourself. So you've got, how much solar up on top?
400 watts.
400,
so, yeah, 4 100-watt panels that pretty much take up the entire roof from right about here to right about there where you are. So
wow.
Not much room for much else up there, but it gets a lot of energy for me. So.
And what kind of panels do you use?
They're like the Renogy, I think.
The Renogy? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
those are popular.
Yeah.
And what's your control panel here? And
so for I have all Victron stuff. So this is yeah, the Victron color controller for, I have a lithium battery, 300 amp hours, and Victron solar charge controller and battery management system that all kind of wires into this hub so I can see how much I'm getting from solar and if I'm plugged into shore power how much, or I have a little inverter here too, which I can inverter charger so I can run my electric kettle and a few loads, my laptop when I'm working and stuff like that. So
nice.
And this is kind of a little, probably not entirely necessary, but kind of nice to be able to track and see how much power I have left and how much each thing is drawing and everything. So
no, it definitely helps because when you don't have all this information, some people just have like just this part here, and they're like, I don't know how it works, it just does.
Yeah.
And you have an isotherm fridge.
Yep.
Is it just a fridge or is it a freezer as well?
It has a little freezer. I'll show you. I guess it's a little.
Oh, it's like a mini fridge.
Burger in there. Yeah, it's a mini fridge. It has a little freezer, although I don't really.
You could
too much
stick it like a Klondike bar. Looks.
Yeah,
that's
right?
it.
But the fridge part is pretty big and nice, so I get to keep all my. And
it works well with your solar, you said.
Yeah, like I think it only draws maybe 4.5 amps when it's running, and like I said, if it's, I mean, depending on the temperature, it only runs maybe 15 minutes out of the hour or something, so nice. It doesn't do too bad. Yeah.
And the cabinetry, was this fun to do?
Yeah, it was fun and challenging as well because everything in the van is curved, so the ceiling and the sidewall have like a 5-meter radius to them, so like, you know, if you look inside the cupboards, this was the first one, so it didn't turn out, you know, the corners weren't as nicely uniform as the back ones actually, so I should have probably started with the back. So
this looks great though. Honestly, this looks amazing.
But yeah, and then so everything's a little bit of radius, so it was fun. It was a little challenging, and then I put the hinges so that gravity could kind of hold them down. They're kind of spring-loaded down anyway, and then gravity helps too. So these actually stay down pretty well when I'm driving.
Awesome.
Yeah. A little spice cupboard back here,
and then your wardrobe.
Yeah, this is the wardrobe. So I have my clothes on a little hanger in here.
Nice.
Yep, and yeah, this is like the fuse breaker box for the few outlets I have around and stuff. So
cool. And then you've got your composting toilet, which pulls out.
Yeah.
Which is super cool.
Yeah. So I haven't. There's a little bit more to finish. I was gonna put like some finishing trim on the front, so it's not just showing. But yeah, this is good enough for now. So yeah, it pulls out here.
And what brand of toilet is that?
It is. Oh man, what is the brand of this?
Is it Nature's Head?
It is Nature's Head, yes.
I hadn't seen one before, but that was the only composting toilet I could think of.
Yeah, no, my friend highly recommended it. He'd been using one for a while, so apparently there's a few out there, but I was told this is one of the better ones, so.
And I like how it stores underneath your bed.
Yeah, it's super nice that way. So.
And your desk, since you're a digital nomad, pops up.
Yeah, it pops up and then...
from the bedding.
Yeah, it's not too bad to put down. I just take this, pull out.
And I had a camper growing up that had that same setup where,
it's pretty handy. So
you make the table.
Like I said, it's not. I know sometimes it's like a pain to put with the stuff. But since I work out of here, it's just nice to be able to do, and it turns back into a bed rather quickly and easily. So put the sheets back on and make my bed.
No, you're good. So yeah, you got a nice big bed, and everything seems pretty simple, and like you don't have too much in here. Everything has its place.
Yeah.
My van's not that way.
Yeah, well, it's pretty soon. I've only been living here for like a month and a half, so I was in my apartment for 2 years, and then I pretty massively downsized, like got rid of a bunch of stuff to move in here. But I have a feeling I've already started collecting a few things here and there, so like. But
more necessities.
Yeah.
You got a better filter.
Yeah, for sure.
And your sink set up, and then you have this really interesting heater that you've tried using, but you're interested to see how it works. Yeah,
well, I've definitely used the heater. So it's a little Webasto. It's an engine preheater, and it's mounted underneath the van. But it heats coolant loop, and then it comes past. This is plastic bag out of here. So this is the coolant reservoir.
Okay.
And then it runs down. The heater heats it, and then it comes back up. Runs past this is a hot water heat exchanger, so I'll get hot water on demand when it's running, and then it runs back over here, and inside there is a radiator and a blower, and that'll blow hot air and heat the van. So the hot water works really well. I've taken showers with it, and it gets nice and hot. The heater also blows hot air, but I haven't had like seriously cold weather yet in the last month and a half to see. You know, I did a lot of insulation, but to see how well it performs as far as like, you know, sub-zero temperatures or sub-freezing temperatures. So, but I think it'll do pretty well. I insulated pretty good, so I'm hoping. I'm a cross-country skier, so I have a little cubby back there where I tuck my skis. My skis are like, you can probably kind of see them poking out up here.
Oh yeah, okay.
So they go along like this under this bench side on the bed. So I'm hoping
that's a good hobby.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna go skiing, you think, this year?
So I'm originally from the Wisconsin area, and unfortunately Madison the last few years hasn't had much snow. So I'm maybe going to spend a little time further north, like Northwoods, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, and maybe out here some too. I've heard there's some skiing out here around the mountains and stuff. So
Mount Hood?
Yeah.
So well, that's cool.
Yeah.
And is there any other special little things? You made it yourself. I know you're very proud of it.
Yeah. Well, there's not too much. You know, I think that's most of it, I guess.
Yeah. And how did you get into living in a van? The idea just came to you one day, or? Well,
actually, so this guy over here in this blue van, he had done it first, and I sort of watched him roam around for a year, thinking like, you know, oh, that looks pretty nice, and I'm a software engineer. There's no reason I need to be tied down in one place. So, So it looked interesting and it looked like fun to build, and I started looking at them online, and I just decided to go for it at some point. So
awesome. Yeah, it's super great. So a month and a half, and you're hoping for many more months.
Yeah. At least a year, and we'll see how much more. You know. So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, it was so good to meet you, Nick.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
So have a great day.